So I think the best way to do this one is to do it numerically. Evaluate the limit from the left of this term. And then evaluate the limit as x approaches 0 from the right. And then if they match, then we can say what the limit equals. If they don't match, then we say the limit doesn't exist. And so to evaluate the limit coming from the left, you want to plug in a number slightly less than 0. So like negative 0.1. And then you'd want to plug in negative 0.01 to see what's happening to the y values as we get closer and closer. Okay, so if we plug in negative 0.1 into the numerator, we want to take e, raise it to the power of 0.01 negative, and add that to 3. So then this is what the numerator is when I plug in negative 0.01. And then the denominator, it's going to be negative 0.01 squared, so that'll make it positive for a power on top of e. So we got e to the power of that small decimal, and then it's supposed to be 1 subtracted by that result, right? 1 minus what we just got. So 1 minus that result is negative 0.0001. Okay, that's our denominator. So if you divide those two things, 3.99 divided by that gives us negative 39,898. So that's pretty low. If you tried to plug in negative 0.001, you'll see it's even lower. It's even further down, even closer to negative infinity. So the limit as x approaches 0 from the right goes to from the left goes to negative infinity. And now to figure out what it is from the right, let's do the opposite. Let's plug in 0.01. So if I plug in 0.01 in for the power of e, I'm doing the numerator first, then add that to 3. This is what the top part of my rational expression is. And then we're dividing that by 1 subtracted by e to the x squared. So 0.01 squared on the power of e. So we'll do 1 subtracted by that result. So that's our denominator. Divide those two. So we have negative 40,105 tenths. So this is doing the same thing coming from the right. We're going towards negative infinity. The limit is approaching negative infinity from the right. So since the limit from the left and the limit from the right are both negative infinity, we can say this limit approaches negative infinity. We'd have to say it does not exist if the two limits aren't the same.